through the early game and you utilize that Kha'Zix's pickup well in the mid game, you can reap the benefits. But early game, if you're struggling and you want to kind of tilt the matchup into anybody's favor, you need to be able to interfere and gank. Rek'sai can definitely do that from even unpredictable movements and pathways, as opposed to a Kha'Zix who is forced to farm the jungler often at a slower tempo than his counterpart, so just hampering and damaging your early game.
And they do opt, as you predicted, to go a little bit more tanky route with Kindred left available. MightyBear instead takes the Gragas. And they put Cabochard onto the Irelia, so once again, showing the shift that we've seen in the meta since MSI 6.8 and all that. It's all history at this point.
Yeah, there's no need to pick Kindred early here. You can just get your picks as well. No need, not to be afraid of the enemy picking it, because Rek'Sai's locked in. You can just match tank for tank. I think MightyBear performs much better on tanks than he does on carry junglers, because it gives him a little leeway. He was not hesitant of engaging. And wow, the Jhin hover.
Ooh, and it's locked.
That's
Veritas,
bold.
it's a bold move for sure. They take themselves a Ryze as well. This is starting to shape up to be an interesting composition.
I mean, if you're Cabochard and MightyBear, you're happy here, no? You're playing Irelia Gragas as a backline threat combo into two stationary damage dealers. Both the AD carry and what presumably will be the mid laner here are very lackadaisical when it comes to gap closers, because they don't have a single one, so they'll need some peel. What is Unicorns going to draft to kind of fix this bullet hole?
That is going to be the question. Well, it'll be whatever falls into Chachi or Hylissang's pickup, and Police opts to take the Ashe this time.
I like it.
Little bit of long range to match up with the Jhin.
Zyra's open too. If these guys have mastered her, could be good here. Definitely maybe want some forward aggression though. I can see the value in the Karma pick. I actually like it more than Zyra in this instance, because a Mantra AoE shield on this entire lineup, you send out arrow, AoE Mantra shield, you charge forward, Cabochard and MightyBear go flying in. Police will need to take care of himself a little bit, but with good positioning, he doesn't even need to enter the fight that much.
Yeah, and they've got a lot of disruption. There's a lot of threat in the front line. Gragas trying to knock an isolated target. You've got the Irelia as well. Unicorns, they have a lot of questions to answer as the last seconds will tick away on their rotation. Still, really rough situation to be in. If they go down 2-0 in this series, only having won one series on the entirety of the split in their first 3 weeks in the LCS, it just looks rougher and rougher for them. And we've seen them think about this Illaoi. The Zyra is actually what they pick up to pair with the Jhin. Illai's locked for Chachi, but...
Yeah. Is there a really good curveball? It's a good curveball, because you want disengage, right? And you want something that can reset the fight. And instead of going for the Janna that resets with no damage, you have a Zyra, who is essentially a secondary AP carry. Very often does she do more damage than jungle, even top laners out there. And then you have Illaoi that can work with that. So right now, when MightyBear and Cabochard dive into the backline, all it takes is the ulti from Hylissang to kind of disincentivize anybody else from following up, and then they pick a target and they burn it down with the Illaoi ulti. And that is still a combo where they can make it out if Vizicsacsi uses ultimate at the same time when move is buying time in the front line. So that's what you want to look for if you are the Unicorn. So don't be mistaken here. This Zyra pick can change the entire scope of some of these fights.
That is indeed a good point. A lot of players finding out firsthand how much damage Zyra can really deal, and
it's disgusting.
Although Chachi has not necessarily made like his laning presence very known on this Illaoi, with a couple of early gameplays aside, it also disincentivizes that dive into the backline. You can do so much work when people have to run into your choke point. Last pickup, and we know he always hovers it, but kaSing actually gets to lock in the Zilean, giving it to Nukeduck.
Super smart pickup here. Not only does Zilean do well into Ryze, because Ryze is so short range and telegraphed in his movements once he wants to trade. Once he goes WQ, he's very stationary. You can also speed up some of these assassin teammates, like, you know, the Gragas for an accelerated engage, or the Irelia just for turbo assassin mode going in, as well as you counteract the entire premise of this ultimate, because nobody dies here on the Illaoi ultimate. I wonder if actually the ultimate effect still fully triggers if you get revived. I doubt it does, so I think it's a good counter pick here.
We might just get to find out, Krepa. Yeah. Well, Unicorns, they put their eggs into some comfort baskets, but there is a lot of power there. There is a lot of anti-engage. I won't say disengage, but anti-engage. And in the backline, if Veritas can stay safe, he can start throwing out the big, big bullets. Unicorns trying for their win to tie this series up against Vitality. Vitality going for their first 2-0 as Shans walks off stage. The last time shaking hands with Sheepy, and this one just got real interesting.
It definitely did, especially in terms of Snowball. If Unicorns with their creative draft file behind once though, it is
Lights out.
yeah, lights out. They're gonna
Well,
go down because the
you guys-
snowball potential of this lineup from Vitality is definitely there.
If you guys think that's going to happen, hashtag VIT win. Will they take their first 2-0 on the split? Or will the Unicorns of Love claw their way back and get their first win since taking down Origin? Hashtag UOL win is that one as the players. We're getting ready on stage to load up.
Yeah, we dimmed the
Second
lights.
time, these two teams, we have to set the stage, set the mood, or it could be an epic clash. Two teams at the bottom of the table trying to fight out.
Yeah, not a candlelight dinner here. More so brutality on the Rift. 5 guys on each team looking to destroy each other, take away their hopes and dreams.
It's just good old-fashioned League of Legends, Crepo.
Love it.
As it was in Elder Days.
Elder Days. Back in
You know
2011.
all about Elder Days.
2010 actually, I guess.
Yep.
I think that's
But
when my
we're-
first account was made.
We're in a new era, Season 6. And we've got Ashe Zyra bot lane. We've got Illaoi top.
Well, we got Ashe on one side, Zyra on the other.
Yeah.
It's very oppressive to have Ashe Zyra. If there's one thing I don't wish upon many of my enemies, it is actually having to lane against Ashe Zyra. Because, and this is the salt, you know, this is the Sulky salt coming out. It's just, their laning pattern is so easy to execute. It literally is poke, 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 and then you suffer. So this Zyra Jhin lane is even more interesting because the random plants that spawn all apply damage, which allow Veritas to just press W. If he hits it, the trade is enormous, and then you can actually follow up with the snare from Hylissang. Because look at what they can do. Q on one of these plants spawns a Thorn Spitter, I think they're called. Just a plant. Let's call it a plant. It attacks somebody, tags them. Then Veritas does W on when Police goes for a CS, for example. Then Hylissang goes for the snare combo, and they just drop dead.
Not only that, they got Jhin traps too.
Yep.
Police and kaSing are going to have to double step just to try to get out of a minefield. But they're opting right now for this lane swap, and I think that makes a lot of sense just to not deal with the headache.
Not only that, it also puts Cabochard down in the dumpster here. He's playing the lane swap, as well as just like, if you want to have a laning pattern against the Zyra, all these plants can block skill shots. So these plants can block, I think, volley procs here. You can take care of some shots here from Karma Q's too right now. This doesn't really matter, this damage that Cabochard is taking. It's completely irrelevant. The biggest part here is that he got 2 CS worth of experience, whereas his lane counterpart, Vizicsacsi, did not.
Crucially to start things off. So move. Shakes his way into the jungle to take away the enemy Gromp, and we just start to see the makings of the 3v0 that we expect. Cabochard actually hanging back out at tier 2. Teleporting a little bit late. Instead of backing away, he just immediately teleports, so he'll be able to soak up that bit of gold for himself. Things just keep on swapping back and forth, and this is where we expect things to be a little bit more easier to predict, but once we get into the nitty-gritty of both the teams fighting each other out, that's going to be curious.
Yeah, and that little tower shot right there, and you'll see it soon again. Zyra really good at the AoE here. Vitality doing a horrendously bad job at tanking the creeps themselves, so their lane swap execution is rather poor here, because you always want to let the champions tank the creeps and bunch them up for AoE. But every time he spawns a plant in here, once the tower shifts, the tower is actually going to attack one of the plants. This wasn't coincided very well with the tower dying, so Hylissang can definitely improve his Zyra play here, but the point is, every time you spawn a plant, the tower will attack it, which keeps your minions alive longer. So not only do you have an AoE champion in a lane swap, you have some additional turret shots to work with, so Zyra speeds up lane swap.
And we saw, at the end of the day, they actually just about bang on even, and we'll get back into your regularly scheduled choices for Masteries. All the same. Execution not quite there, but at the very least, they had the potential to go a little bit further forward. Mountain Drake is the first one on the field. There'll still be some time before that can come out, and definitely let's zero in a bit on this Zilean pickup, because he's got himself the Deathfire touch.
That's very interesting. Not going for the standard Thunder Lords, where you just do bomb auto, Thunder Lords poke.
Hoping he can get himself a little bit more burnout on those clock bombs. Exile, not the strongest showing out of him on Ryze in game number 1, but this time he may not have quite as much pressure. Veritas and Chachi have actually moved up towards this top side to try and push back Cabo, so here should be the back away for the duo lane as they take their places back in bottom. Or maybe not. Maybe they just try to go for the reverse push. Looks like that's the case.
Yeah, Cabo going for the greedy. Let's soak up some experience against this Ashe Zyra here. Vizicsacsi saying, nope, 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 not gonna happen. You teleported once, I can do it too. And phase 2 of the lane swap is being accelerated here by the Unicorns. They make use of tanking the creeps and spawning those plants, because if they do this quick enough, they can actually contest the dragon that Vitality want to start after they take down bot tier 1 because Cabochard is simply so late. Look at all the AoE here. You want to use all these spells on the creeps while your minions and you yourself hit the tower.
They keep at it. Now, Vitality's dual lane have only just gotten to the tower. They're way behind the 8 ball on this one. 5 minutes in, this is going to be big. Plants are tanking the tower, so Hylissang's learned his lesson on that, or at least has improved his execution. And this is going to mean a big advantage for Unicorns of Love.
Yeah, they want to get the hell out of dodge here and see if they can find their way back to the dragon. Look at the difference here in speed. Obviously, speed comes at a cost usually, so we need to see if there's an advantage somewhere in gold or CS, but it does seem that things are very even. Veritas slightly behind Police here. Vizicsacsi slightly ahead of his lane opponent, Cabochard. And Unicorns, they don't really lose anything from being on the wrong side of the map because they can contest this dragon start.
Cabochard and kaSing, yep, still trying to finish the job. They've actually left kaSing to stay a little bit longer.
He's going to steal the gold?
Yeah.
Oh, good
trying
support.
to deny those minion waves, but Veritas and Hylissang are nearly there. They're actually still hanging pretty strong. MightyBear's low on health, and they turn their attention to him. But it's not going to be enough damage. Veritas is going to have to burn his flash, and Cabo, Blade Surge, Summoner Heal, not enough. First blood over to Police.
Yeah, Veritas, really good opening, but just be happy with the scraps that you get. Don't go chasing for more. You're still 4 versus 2, and your top laner just TP'd and is freezing a top wave. So this is really, again, playing in a vacuum, reacting to what's on screen without keeping the bigger picture in mind here. Over-aggression. He pays the price.
Tunnel vision. MightyBear stepping
So right here,
forward here.
Rush was clean. They see face check from MightyBear. Really good flash by MightyBear. And then obviously kaSing flashes too, I think, to extend the chain here. And then that Cabochard spots that window of opportunity, goes in and secures the kill. So a lot of flashes here. 4 flashes expended on that kill by Vitality. But Veritas, really, really big misstep here.
Yep. There's maybe a small window for Unicorns to try and push their weight around and set up for the dragon very, very early, though. It's unlikely since Vitality are already back in position.
Because look at where it left us. We had Vizicsacsi freezing the top wave. This tempo advantage.
Uh-oh, Nukeduck, he's caught up, but
it's fine. He's got ulti. This tempo advantage was used to accelerate top lane farm. The quicker you do lane swap, generally, the better your top laner will be, because at the end of the lane swap phase, he'll be the one that's freezing first. So if that phase played out slightly differently, Vizicsacsi would have an even bigger lead here on Cabochard. Went to base and go back. Nukeduck using one of his teleports to the mid lane. And Unicorns taking control of this dragon even after Veritas dropped. So, in control of the early game, I would say, Unicorns.
Some mistakes, but they had got the tempo advantage after doing a little faster. So Mountain Dragon is taken down. The next to spawn will be Ocean, but that is some time away.
6 minutes.
Shot. Yes, exactly. Well, not anymore. Now it's like 5:40, but who's counting, right?
Somebody is, I hope. The internal game clock. Yeah.
Chachi's leading the big wave of minions in. Test of Spirit. On to Cabochard.
Run, Cabo, run.
And he's going to have to deal with tentacles for a few seconds.
Those are so annoying to deal with, by the way.
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying to base here. Hang on, Hylissang.
Of annoying. Hylissang checks right into the MightyBear. Big pickup on that kill, but Chrono Shift saves his life, and he's going to be able to pop out. He'll get his soul grab, but he makes it out alive at the very least in body, if not spirit.
Run, MightyBear. I really like the animation on this, though. It's so annoying, because he wants to base right now. He needs to run away. That was a really good reaction there. Zyra is extraordinarily good at disengaging, but she gets caught so easily. That's why many of these like LeBlanc montages or Fizz montages is basically mid laners killing Zyras, because she goes down so easily. It's one of the hard things. There's actually a couple players on European server. Just mention Nigel to anybody on EU Challenger. The guy goes like 0 and 20 on Zyra, and he will still deal absurd amount of damage because there's so much damage built into this kit, even as a support, especially with the old passive. Gladly got removed right now because he was optimizing for a 2 damage passive. That was his playstyle. People call it feeding. He just creative use of his passive. Sadly, no longer available, so he needs to shift the style to a little bit more safe approach.
Yeah, that's those of you who really like the cinematics. A New Dawn does not tell you how much damage Zyra deals.
No.
So have to learn a little bit more through playing the game yourselves. In goes Move towards the Dragon Pit. It's not a farm alarm. There's nothing for him to take right there, but he does work his way into the enemy jungle. Spotted on a ward. Meanwhile, kaSing has pushed his way in as well. So both teams looking to try and trade towers, or rather trade pressure around the map and look for tower damage, but there's a lot of defense.
Yeah, look at his long lanes too. Police is constantly on the lookout for an arrow.
Oh, Chachi. Goes ulti. Is that going to be enough? I don't think so. Maybe. Cabo.
You have to be so wary of an Illaoi once you get into close quarters, because she can turn around any fight with her ultimate later in the game. Look at the AoE wave clear here, though. The Zyra Jhin combo. Supporting quite the amount of wave clear here.
Plants and grenades, man. All right, there's a lot of damage, a lot of explosions going on. Here comes the Ashe arrow out. First of the game, not going to connect on anybody, unfortunately, unless...
The optimistic cross-map arrow. Just to send a message.
Sometimes you just get lucky.
Hey, could deny a CS, you know, it's the little things.
Yeah. Now it's going to be Rift Herald started by Vitality here. See what they can get out of it. Give themselves a little bit more power. No top laner here, actually, so not even that optimal, and it's going to be contested, so they have to back off.
Yeah, that second pickup got Vitality a lot of momentum here. They're now leading with nearly 2,000 gold here in the early game. Really taking big farm advantages. Cabochard managed to deny a lot of CS of Vizicsacsi, so that early misstep from the Unicorns is really starting to kind of trickle through here.
Speaking of missteps, move. Didn't realize he was going to have more than kaSing to contend with. So everything's settled into, I don't want to say normalcy, because there's a lot of wacky plays going on around the map, but at least the teams are attempting to lane.
Yeah, the map is open. A lot of tier 1s down. There's a 1v1 battle in the top lane, in the bot lane rather, going on that is being handedly won by Cabochard right now.
Yeah, but as you said, the Chachi comeback is always a potential there. Still, Cabochard, if he can get the execution on his massive CS differential, just waiting on the power spike from his Trinity Force, and should have enough gold for it soon enough. Actually taking a look at the gold in this game, you know, he's pretty darn close to being able to finish off the last piece there. He's not going to go back until he can maybe get a pick off or at least force the Illaoi back. There he goes.
He's going back. He's going to spend that right now. Police recharging too. Next arrow available. Can they make use of it? Because that is one advantage here in the combo. Arrow into double bomb, Cabochard going in, you know, speed up from Karma. That's what they want to do. Make a pick with this Ashe. Ashe is always involved in pick compositions.
If they can get a catch out, if they can find somebody that's meant to be safe on the back line, if it's Hylissang, if it's Veritas, they can stop the UOL aggression before it starts.
And I really like these handoffs that Vitality are doing. So they're funneling farm into Cabochard. Because look, this wave that Police was clearing out earlier. So we see Exileh forced to flash on our face check.
Positional awareness.
That wave is continuously handed over to Cabochard because they don't want the Irelia to walk into the long frozen lane in the bot lane. So Vitality, when somebody's freezing at the other side of the map, their cross-map move is just to bunch up and look for picks here, just like on Hylissang.
Yep, and they get the arrow, they get the knockback, and Hylissang's melted.
Yeah, instantly gets bopped here. You can't go to near any brushes until somebody gets revealed on the bot side of the map. Simply too easy for Vitality to group. And they capitalize on their numbers advantage and, yeah, compositional superiority here in the mid game with vision control.
First, Exileh lost his flash, then Hylissang lost his life without really being able to do much in answer. You can see a lot of investment in pink wards on the side of Unicorns. They realize very latent threat.
And look right now, they're just switching Cabochard back to the bottom. So they just send him tops, like, you know, keep farming, we'll use Police to do something on the map here, make use of him, while this long lane that was all the way at tier 2 in the bottom lane is now being pushed up to the other tier 2 tower, and now Vizicsacsi is getting punished. Yeah. Map moves from Vitality.
He does do a lot of damage to Cabochard, but he tags in to MightyBear and Chachi, the long-range tentacle.
Slapped by a tentacle. That's one way to go down.
So, how about that 1v1?
MightyBear also came in with the body slam whiffing. I think he tried to body slam the ghost of his top laner. It's like, that's for taking my jungle CS.
Yeah, unlucky. That's really what ended up killing Cabochard. Those plants doing a lot of damage. This opens up a moment for Unicorns to start themselves an Ocean Drake. They've already got the mountain regeneration. It's still pretty early on, so this could definitely give a big benefit to them. But Vitality aren't too keen on giving it up, and they actually force the Unicorns back. Police is coming in. The rest of the team, yeah, this is going to be quite easy.
Yeah, always the looming threat of that Ashe arrow. You have to respect when you're doing objectives. Because this is something we often talk about in many series, you know, predictable movement. You're standing still hitting a dragon, it's going to be quite easy to land the arrow here. Cabochard is engaging this play. Look at how quickly this swings around. That's the ghost coming out, ultimate gets popped down, and then finish off. I actually want to see what happens in the bottom part here. If the ghost is finished off by Cabochard or not. So, but MightyBear's body slam whiffing there is actually a big part into why Cabo died.
Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate. Kind of anti-synergy on the back of it. MightyBear just not able to save his laner. And Cabo's having a much harder time than it looked like in the last game. There's still plenty of game to play out, though. We're only approaching the 15-minute mark, and there's only a dragon apiece. And speaking of dragons, it may stay that way. Our Cloud Drake is next up. Flat movement speed, but that'll be a long time in coming. Exileh waiting in the brush, seeing if he can get a catch on Cabochard himself.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to do this, Exileh.
I don't think so.
Well, maybe.
Hey, man, Illaoi could do it. I could do it, too. Move is going to find himself a pink ward, but he'll also find the MightyBear. Whiffs another body slam, and there, a lot of Zyra plants there. Throws the big barrel. He really wants to take this, but Police and Nukeduck just weren't quite there to help punish.
Yeah, move waiting through the jungle. Right there, trying to get MightyBear. Yeah, we need some better aiming with the belly here. Let's see how good this aim is here from the Jhin.
Flashes, knockups galore. They're looking for even more in the back. The Jhin Police. He's not going down just yet, rather saved by Nukeduck, but they finish him off a second time. No problemo.
Oh, cheeky little sidestep there from Nukeduck at the end. Zyra preemptively ulti. Not sure if that was worth it on Police, just wasting your entire ult for that knockup. It was zoned to help prevent other members of Vitality moving in here. One bomb on Cabochard. He was going to flash in. Oh, that would have been so dope if he actually just delivers the bomb with a flash Q, but he was too scared of somebody who was around him.
That's unfortunate. Let's see this play once again. All started with the teleport into the brush, and
yeah,
then
double TP. One on the right side, one on the left side here. Again, signature move from the Unicorns here. But all they get for it is Police delay. Let's see if the Zyra ulti was needed. Yeah, because Cabochard and MightyBear are zoned out, so definitely agree with using it in hindsight. Double bomb comes out, Nukeduck sidesteps. Overall, decently played by both sides here, but the advantage came from Unicorns spending both teleports, however.
Yep. Well, not worried about contesting too much. It's only 16 minutes. There's no Baron available. No one's going to care. Cloud Drake's not even up yet, and Police finds himself Exileh, who will take a nice little kill.
Yep.
Gets a little bit of damage back. Gives the handicap to Police.
Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of a Ryze on the side lane here, but that's another dead Hylissang.
Yeah, that was very New Dawn. That's about as much health as Zyra has. Hylissang. So 1-for-1 punishment, but this time it was a lot of Vitality members bringing the pain to Hilly. Veritas free farming back in the mid. He's going to meet up with MightyBear, and that's turn around. Now Nukeduck finds Exileh, who hung around here. There's an ultimate available. Exileh's going to force it. See if he can get enough damage. Goes for the dive, actually. Flashes in.
Oh, played by Exileh.
Starting to roll on this Ryze, and he even dodges the arrow.
Oh, really good picks here on the side lane. Finally marking his territory and actually having an influence. This is what he tried to do on Yasuo. This is what he tried to do last game as well, but just couldn't quite leave his mark. Now finds two stray members of Vitality that honestly are disrespecting with their map movements. Vitality looking for a flank here. Hey, Hylissang.
Walks right into that bush.
Pop, pop.
Goes the barrel, and that's going to be another pickup. Vitality looking to move in now.
And this is why, this is why we call Zyra a disengaged support, because you don't want to engage. Her engage travels very slowly, and you have to walk up to engage. It's not what you want to do.
Yeah, if you don't disengage, you die. So that's really all anyone ever sees her doing.
Yep.
And test of spirit there. Not going to be finished the job. Chachi and Veritas still pushing out, still clearing away, but they put the fear into Vitality. Even though they paid with Hylissang's life. 0-4-1, he's having a hard time on the Zyra pick, but it's not without its merits. He's definitely had some big plays already.
Yeah, some, but not enough to warrant 4 deaths here. Definitely getting used to the Zyra pickup. That's once these champions that have a very unique approach to the game get brought into the meta because they're simply just overtuned or just happen to be really be a good puzzle piece into the kind of the meta puzzle. Some people just falter when they play them. That's why it sometimes doesn't come out. We've seen it when Zilean support was present at Worlds as well. You know, some players just refused to pick him up and had to spend every single ban, both blue and purple side, on banning out that Zilean, because Zyra is quite a different approach to supporting as opposed to many archetypes.
Very true. You know, it's hard to see someone stepping a little out of the comfort zone. And, you know, even though Hylissang, a lot of experience on his side, it's hard to play this very, very squishy champion when there's so much engage and so much catch potential. But they're not doing themselves any favors stepping into the bushes. They just don't have the vision. Even though they've invested in a lot of pink wards, they're not able to really keep it.
I mean, his defense, they were up in map members. Look at how many random plants this guy is spawning with his passive. One Q spawns 4 plants. It's just...
It's a hell of a garden. Hey, do they have enough time to finish off the Rift Herald? We're about to find out. 30 seconds on the game clock. Let's take a look.
Yeah, race against time.
Yeah. It's a race against Baron taking his house back. Might just have it, see if they can get it at the very last second. MightyBear's had a lot of the kills this game, so maybe they give this one over to him. Actually, Cabochard in the area, he might be the one that they want to give it to. Last second, and it looks like it is, in fact, going to be given to MightyBear.
Yeah, MightyBear picks it up then. Vizicsacsi right here, whacking away on this turret.
That's the price they pay for taking Herald. Another tower knocked down, that's 3-2 in favor of the Unicorns of Love right now. And, you know, speaking...
No, it was actually Cabochard.
Oh,
I just went
okay.
double check.
I got
Cabochard
juked.
picked it up. Got juked, man. That's what these pro players do very well. Sometimes they juke all of us, including the casters. Luckily, we have instant replay.
Totally expected, or unexpected. The Cloud Drake taken away at 20 minutes as well. Unicorns, it's free objective. Why not? We're just going to go ahead and grab it. A little bit of extra move speed available, and we'll see what comes up next, of course. So, Vitality for the time being, trying to rustle control back of their side of the bottom side of the map. Keep the clear out of the waves.
And look at some progression this team has made. MightyBear is finally finding his footing here in the LCS. Very lackluster. Week 1 and 2. Couldn't find his groove. But right now on this Gragas pickup, 3-0 in 1 and an essential part of a lot of engages.
Yeah, it definitely speaks to the merit of them focusing on the tank jungle and trying to put a more carry-oriented top lane, speaking to Cabochard's strengths. MightyBear does face a test of spirit. He's still going to be able to walk away from it. For now,
I just love Illaoi's animations. They all look so unique and fluid. Just like whenever you walk out of the test of spirit, it floop, follows you.
ah, tentacles.
Nope.
MightyBear don't care.
Nope. Just got his barrel in the air. Just don't care.
Chachi, he wants to find another yank, but he will not get it here. The plants keep on spawning, the traps keep on placing. Veritas Hylissang just being a very big nuisance in this mid lane right now.
Yeah, these Jhin traps you can actually disable and reveal with sweepers. So if you're wary of walking into them, just pop your sweeper in the middle of a fight. 3 hits and they're down. Zyra plants, just walk on them, very important. A lot of people in their minds have like, okay, Zyra seed's bad because they spawn plants, but actually the counter to them is literally walking on them before Zyra can pop them. Very often overlooked.
That is assuming you're safe enough to walk on them,
Yeah.
right? You might get yanked by Illaoi, you might get jumped on by Ryze. I mean, there's so many threats on this Unicorn side right now. And kudos to them for, they're not doing, you know, they're not trying to straight up find the 5v5s. It's obviously a different comp for them than it was from the last game. But they're making the Jhin, they're making the Ryze not really an option to go after because they have to defend in the mid lane. They have to try and hit that front line. And it means the squishies, except for Hylissang.
They need to liberate Police to really find these engages. Mentality. Maybe MightyBear can find another E-Flash here. But if you look at the death counts, the only target that they really spotted out there in the side lane was Veritas. Other than that, it's just been a face check galore here by Hylissang. But right now, Exileh is the one that gets knocked in. kaSing's here, looking for the snare.
Throws the leash. They got it. And MightyBear, do they have enough damage is the question. MightyBear very low, and Exileh has a shield on. The Illaoi nabs MightyBear, and the rest of Vitality have come. The cavalry's here. And they'll just try to back away and force the disengage. They don't have a Gragas ultimate available anymore.
Hylissang is kind of face-checking on his own on the side. You can't be an aggressive factor in these fights if you're Zyra. You have to yield that. Your role is disengage. That's why we see the pairing so often, Ashe and Zyra, because one part is engaged, it's the yin to the yang, which is the counter-engage of Zyra. Always want to have some offensive prowess in your bot lane combination if you're playing any Zyra plus X lanes.
Zen of bot lane. Crap, you really should write a book one of these days.
Yeah, how to do Krugs properly.
Only the first chapter. 51 ways to do Krugs.
Welcome to Bot Lane. Bot Lane 101. This book is 51 pages long. First 50 are in Krugs.
Yeah. Unicorns. Well, they definitely didn't have too bad a start for themselves, despite some of the scores that Hylissang was putting up. And so much sewn away. They've even bought some time on this mid right now.
Oh, the Cabo flanker shard.
To get done.
Bottom of your screen, observers.
Finds Veritas. There's the heal. Move is going to body block, but not long enough. Cabochard does what he does best. And finding a quick pickup. The Ashe arrow comes in. Can they force this fight? Knocking move right into them. The Zyra ult was there, but a double kill comes in for Cabochard. Even more now as the MightyBear gets a 2-man knockup. Shut down by Exileh. The Unicorns are fighting back tenaciously, but it is not enough. A triple kill for the Irelia and a massive fight for Vitality.
Such a well-played fight by Vitality, initiated with a teleport flank from Cabochard. Beautiful execution on all aspects. The right right target revived at the right time. There was counter-engage from Vitality's MightyBear. Really good awareness. People were willing to sacrifice their life for the team at the right moments. What a beautifully executed team fight here from Vitality.
And they get themselves one tower, looking for another. Won't be quite enough.
kaSing buys the dust. Okay. There goes
there's a flank here. Hold up. Move went Void Rush on this one. He finds Police. They stuck around way too long. Police is trying to step out of the Jhin ulti. Will dodge all the shots. Fancy feet enabled by Nukeduck, but they did lose kaSing.
There's another teleport coming though here.
Ray Seeker.
Look at the background of this trading here. Double bomb zones. And MightyBear slowed down Exileh here, who had Home Guard spark on his teleport. So really good awareness after kaSing's death. Slightly over eager here. This could have been ugly though if they executed the back end of this fight a little bit better with, you know, chasing skills like this Jhin ultimate and double TP. Unicorns could have really had a massive advantage. Right now, 2 are in the base. And this is a bold play here, but look at the zone. This is Zyra's kind of ballpark, you know. Yeah, snare into more snares. Zone from plants, but Vizicsacsi can't tank that Baron well enough. Zone from Vitality is enough to force them off.
And Nukeduck did such a great job getting the bomb stuns down, letting the Baron be the 6th man on the team, or I guess in this case, the 4th, as they had 2 still rushing from the base. Baron was stopped, but let's take a look at how this all began.
I mean, Cabochard just finds the opening. Veritas should not be here for one. You should always have backup from your team, and then move so much. And then this fight here, look at the amount of damage that Illaoi is going to put out. I love this arrow too. Instant reaction here. The plans stop MightyBear's body slam. The ulti hits like 3 people up, so this looks really bad, but then the right selection here. MightyBear goes out of the fight, then go back in with body slam flash. If he doesn't make this move and actually disengages this fight, it will be likely lost pretty severely here by Vitality. But they just combine the Zilean ulti and the re-engage with their jungler so well to come out victors of the fight.
Yep, even with Unicorns grabbing a little bit back, they just weren't able to do enough. So this opens up, not a massive lead, not a comfortable lead for Vitality, but they have map control for the minute. They're going to use it to try and get themselves a dragon. This would be their first Mountain Drake to get a little bit extra tower burn. We've seen what they've been able to do with just a few seconds time on. Still, have to be wary. The Ryze is pushing in on the top side.
Yeah, open map, no teleports, which means the next Ashe arrow could just instantly proc a Baron. Look at it. Police wanting to hide in bushes with vision denial. So if he can shoot it from Fog of War, any target he connects with could be a kill.
That tower's gone though. That will be the trade.
Yeah, but any lonesome creep can be a trigger for Cabochard to dash to, and then chain, and then arrow can come out here. That's what they're looking for.
Police is coming. Cabo's already got half his health gone though, and
Exile,
there's the arrow. It's gonna knock him. He's stunned up. Cabo.
Oh, he failed QSS.
Looking for the revenge. The QSS was not successfully popped. Exile, though, does burn his flash. Rune prisons Cabo. He's on the run.
Oh, you can definitely tell Exile was German, because that was a German ping QSS here. You see the arrow come in, and then you have like 40, 48 ping. That's when you just pop it, and it would have been an instant cleanse. But this time we're playing on local area network here. 8 ping. It was simply too early.
Only challenger players will know.
Yeah, no,
a little difference.
You can buffer like spells, because if you're so used to triggering like QSS on like a marginal amounts of delay, you just get instantly out of that spell. But if you're playing on like 8 ping as opposed to 48, suddenly you waste your QSS right before, and you don't want to do that.
Oh yeah, big problem. So he burns it just a little bit too early. Does not pay with his life, but he does have to get a flash to get out of town. Vitality, when they pull the trigger, they don't stop coming. So Police with the Ashe arrow starting to show that you can go big with those picks, and now Move gets himself one of the Raptors, gets out of town. Vitality, it's still very close to even, in fact, exactly on the gold count, but Unicorns, they're the ones that have more towers. It's Vitality, however, that still have the map control for the time being.
Yeah, looking to capitalize on that every single time. Just arrows need to connect from Police here. Because these carries here from Unicorns of Love, they're snowballing well into the late game, and we can't underestimate the damage that Hylissang can do in these fights.
Definitely can't underestimate it. Haunting Guy is picked up by him, still working his way towards the Liandry's Torment, and it starts to get real painful when those plants start pecking away without any contention. Unicorns, though, tenaciously pushing forward. Are they baiting themselves into the trap? Gragas around the side. MightyBear gets spotted out by Move.
Yeah, you can feel the tension right now in this game. Whereas last game's mid-game was so lackluster, lackadaisical with the 1-3-1 fighting the 4-1. Both these teams seem heavily gravitated towards the Baron area and very wary of how much that single objective can influence the scope of this game.
Oh, absolutely. considering how crucial it proved to be last time for Vitality. Both these teams definitely adapted a bit more, and it has been a bloodthirsty game on both sides. MightyBear dodging out of getting his soul yanked right out of his body yet again. Vizicsacsi just been so annoying on this Illaoi pick and so crucial to their counter engages.
Yeah, damage here in this brush for Unicorns of Love. Hylissang's already done 10,000 damage to champions. That is more than his AD carry Veritas.
Nukeduck.
To use that.
He got God.
He got got, and he can't got Vizicsacsi as good as he got, so Nukeduck has to run.
Well, they might get got gone in just a second. Another yoink. Chachi just keeps on irritating, keeps on haranguing.
Yeah, they're
Vitality
just
squad.
buying time, however. Looking at the bot lane Pyra. Cabochard split pushing away here, trying to make it so that Unicorns can't go for these panic barons. Gonna have to deal with him at least by some time. And then Police wants to strike with an arrow.
Setting up around the side. Move!
Oh, there's a lot of damage here from Cabochard's ulti.
In comes Chachi, slams with the tentacle, yoinks the soul. But that's about all they'll get.
Yeah, Cabochard obviously has a lot of tenacity here too. Slippery folk, those Irelia players.
Has even more movement speed, also enabled. The Dead Man's Plate, very tanky between MightyBear and Cabochard. Hard for them to really get taken down very easily. And you know, contrast that with Unicorns. Obviously, Chachi is still very tanky himself, but the stats just quite aren't the same. It's really relying a little bit more on move in terms of items, and you can see the prioritization and not getting caught out too much. Not just one, but two QSSs on the side of Unicorns. Veritas and Exileh do not want to get dove in that back line.
Yeah, versus Ashe, Karma, Snare even, and just the likes of Irelia stun, so important to have.
As long as you hit it at the right time, that's for sure.
Yeah, you gotta use
As long as you burn your flash.
Step 1 is using actives. Step 2 is just using them at the right time. Here, 4 plant spawn. They just get renounced down.
Ah, the natural enemy of plants.
Yep, renounced hurricanes. It's as close to Pokemon as we get. Here, fire doesn't beat grass. It's wind instead.
Close them all down. So, Vitality.
Look at the Strangler wards around the pit here. This is why Vitality is not getting any face checks that they want. There's a ward left and right side. Expire right now.
Oh, but Hilly, he goes in looking for Nukeduck. They found him, but he has a chrono shift on, turning their attention over to MightyBear. They get the stuns up. MightyBear might be tanky, but not nearly enough. Lock him in Rune Prison, boys. No, he's broken out. Nukeduck, though, he gets his spirit tested, and he's slowed down, has to clockwind himself back up to speed.
Yeah, because the Unicorns were partly focusing Nukeduck, partly focusing MightyBear here. He gets a get out of jail free card, gets away, but so close on a turnaround on a fight that was marginally initiated by Hylissang on that Zyra.
Still, it opens up the opportunity for the Baron. They can contest it, though. MightyBear not here for the Smite fight. They have to get them off the Baron. They have to do it now, but it's burning too low, and it's gonna get smited down. Move takes it. Hylissang melts, though. Cabochard straight to his face. They look for Police, but he's chrono shifted, and now the Unicorns are clumped. Shut down, though. Exileh manages to pick up Cabo. This fight's going nuts, and MightyBear finally arrives late to the party.
Late to the party, bombs come out here. That was a really good knockup from move. Arrow follows in here. Vizicsacsi on the back end of the fight oversteps his boundaries just a little bit, but Unicorns, they get the spoils, they get the objective, and they walk away with the Baron buff.
They even get one kill, shutting down Cabochard despite losing their top laner and support. Vitality, though, they're going to look for, looks like another Drake on this, but Move is actually already back with Void Rush, seeing if they can fight them out here with the Baron Empowerment teleport coming in. Vitality just say, no way, Jose, we're out of here. See if they can get the escape. MightyBear has to throw the big barrel, but he's locked up yet again, and he's taken out by Exileh.
Yeah, the back end of all these fights, Unicorns so decisive in their teleport usage. They announce it to their teammates, and then they start chasing seamlessly against nothing, and then you realize why they're doing this every single time, because there's another teleport here. Exileh comes in, finishes the job. Really good synergy here. And honestly, this time, hesitation I wouldn't call it. Timing on the deadly flourish here from Veritas. And that was a really well-played series of events here by the Unicorns.
Yep, Move, he gets the zone out, pops the Randu wins, and he's caught up on the leash right now, but they're trading it for time on the tower. It's going low, but not as low as the health bar of Move. MightyBear still 10 seconds away. This is still a 4v4, but it is not one that Unicorns want to take. 34 minutes on the clock here, and we have not lacked for action this game. That is for damn sure.
Yeah, definitely liking these brutal games. I think we need more Zyras as kind of tributes, you know. We offer them to the Blood God, we get them killed a couple of times, but they still come out swinging because so much damage is done, and it's almost like a broken record. But even though Hylissang is 0-6 right now, look at the build he's pushing out. And at this point in the game, when you're this late in the game, yes, you one-shot the support, but look at the sidestep here, the turnaround. Look at how much work he's doing on his own. 3-man knockup too. You can't afford to use your cooldowns on a support. That's the whole thing. That's the whole premise of and the concept of why Zyra is so strong. If you ignore her, she will do so much damage to you. If you choose not to ignore her, you are now wasting valuable cooldowns in very rapidly paced fights on a support.
Yeah, he made himself look real tasty, and they snapped that trap, enabling the Baron. Of course, after the fact, still a little bit of a questionable back of the fight, but
yeah, he backs out too early. But look at Move here. He's holding his knockup, waiting for Cabochard to come in. Move has been underground for 5 full seconds in this fight, but he knows all he has to do is trade that for Cabochard's presence in the fight. So many Rek'sais would just try and like contribute, but he knows his exact role in this fight, which is the peel buff for Cabochard, and that is what turns the fight.
Yep, and Chachi unfortunately blew his flash on the back, and the rest of his team said,
yeah,
you know what, let's
not do that.
But apart from that, very successful move all across the board. 8-13 might be the kill count, but it has been Unicorn's game since that Baron. They control the map at the moment. Cabochard trying to push on the bottom. We still have teleports winding off cooldown, but Cabochard and Chachi's will be up very, very soon. For now, though, the attention is all on this mid second-tier turret that they traded Move's life for earlier. They'll finally cash in.
Yeah, Police looking for an arrow on Hylissang right now. QSS on both Veritas and Exileh, as discussed earlier. Impossible to get Chachi down.
This is one of those games that is just... I wouldn't say it's hard to call, and I'm not talking about like the whole game, I mean like the fights, because there is just such a ridiculous amount of things going on.
Yeah, there
are tentacles and plants and Jhin traps and bombs.
There's so much swing potential.
This is Super Smash Bros. With items on.
Yeah, definitely. There's so many influencing factors that you lose track of so easily. A couple of stray plants to a snare. Zilean revive, you know, the tentacles coming out, and Hylissang finally gets caught out.
Once again, but he does snap the trap on the plants. No one else to follow forward. Exileh, though, they knock him right into the team, and will they take him out? Not before he dishes. Huge damage. Move was doing it too, but they did not secure the kills. Finally, MightyBear will go down. It's a double kill for Chachi as he finds kaSing. Cabochard, though, he's got a triple.
Cabo comes out swing. He knows exactly when to strike on that Irelia, and this was a grave positional error by Hylissang. You do not play on the front lines, not in this iteration of the game, not when late game, when all your carries have defensive answers to this arrow, and Police is just having the searchlight put on your booty. He was coming for you with the arrow, Hylissang. Don't go for it. Look at where he's positioning right here. You just can't afford to be this far up. Really good acceleration, though, from kaSing, and it was just simply... yeah, too easy. And then the re-engage from Exileh. This is an even bigger mistake. Your support's down. You don't go for a fight. You get the hell out of dodge here. Everybody gets baited in, suckered into this fight, trying to chase the loss here. Poor decision making by Unicorns.
Yeah. And the sad thing about it all is, he nearly got a double kill right after that. Cabochard, he's the one who chased and got himself a triple, but he started to rock and roll getting online on this Irelia. Baron's going to be up in another minute and a half. Vitality has swung the game right around in their favor, even though the gold lead still says Unicorns. It's Vitality on the map.
Yeah, we have the Sterix Triforce combo combined with very tanky items. This is where Irelia loves to be if she's slightly ahead of her opponents. Such a backline threat.
Not much they've been able to answer for. Vision control now is the Vitality priority.
Don't move, please. This is always like the T-Rex scene in Jurassic Park. Just don't move.
Not hesitating on that arrow, but this time it doesn't hit.
Oh, but he walks up anyways.
And Hylissang, he goes in once again, but this time he's bopped. Same result every time. It's madness.
Oh, Cabochard from the back with teleport.
Finds Veritas. QSS ain't gonna save you. Cabochard with a rampage. Unicorn's trying to respond, but Exileh knocked right into the team. Does he have the damage to save the day? Chachi with all the tentacles. They might have just turned it around, but Police getting revived. Do they have it? Can they grab him? Justice Spirit. Nukeduck still tossing bombs left and right. The MightyBear will live again. Shut down Cabochard. That's the ace. And how messy was that? But a 4 for a 5 for just 1.
Yeah, 5 for 1 complete ace here. You almost got flustered. It was so close, Fire, to turn around here with the tentacles, but it just wasn't meant to be here. Vizicsacsi did his darndest best, but it wasn't enough. Another crucial misstep here. Hylissang, damage was there, but the final arrow spelling the nail in the coffin. 0, 9, and 5 on this Zyra.
Downsides of Zyra just so apparent. Vitality, they march forward, they take the victory. 2-0 at 40 minutes in over the Unicorns.